pit lane reporter for this weekend, Christian Hewgill.
Joining us now is Christian Hewgill from the Fast and the Curious and F1 Explains podcast.
Oscar, you going to take us round Silverstone? Bloody hell. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Fast and the Curious. My name is Christian Hewgill. We are live on the main stage of the 2024 British Grand Prix.
And it's race day!
This is Greg James. He's
Hi.
the team principal of the Fast and the Curious.
It's 5:45 on Radio 1, a Newsbeat special with Christian Hewgill in Bahrain.
Lights out. We're racing.
Newsbeat.
2021 was the most exciting, most controversial and most watched season in Formula One history. Now, it's back.
And Verstappen takes the lead.
Christian Hewgill is with Alex Albon right now.
Alex Albon, what do you know about your car now that you didn't at the start of pre-season testing? I think it's a quiet start for Alpine. I think it's going to be tricky for them in the early stages to keep up with the sort of pack just behind Red Bull.
Christian, what can you tell us?
He got straight out of the car as soon as it arrived back in the garage. George was out, the front wing was off. He at first was actually with the guys who were underneath the car, crouched down looking at the front end of his car once the front wing had been taken off. He then scurried away to the back of the garage, and as I can see him now in deep conversation with the team around him.
You have paved the way in Formula One for talking up about certain issues that haven't been spoken about before. A little example, I'm a fanatic F1 fan, I'm a sports broadcaster, I'm also gay. It was something I struggled with when I was a kid about coming out in the world of sport.
Sure, yeah.
You went to Hungary in 2021 when that was going through some tricky stuff with LGBT stuff,
Yep.
and spoke up for LGBT rights. I wanted to say to you, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
It means the world. It makes
Appreciate that.
such a difference. What inspired you to want to do that? Because certainly not all elite level sportsmen like yourself do that.
Well, thank you, and personally, I commend you also, just because it's a challenging journey, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't win another race. I'm going to speak on those things, and whether people like it or not.
This is F1 Explains. We are live on stage at the Circuit of the Americas, and in front of us are lots of F1 Explains listeners. And Mika, you did 161 Grand Prix. Ollie, not a bad record, right? Ollie has done 2 so far. Now, Mika, I'm reading some stats here. Mika has 20 wins, 51 podiums, 2 world championships. But, Ollie, you are beating...
I have 0 of all of those.
Well,
One day.
Well, no.
Not a couple of years.
Mika, you have got, unfortunately, a lower point scoring record than Ollie in one way, because Ollie, you've got a 100% point scoring record in Formula One. Give Ollie a round of applause.
Well done.
Seems hard to do, right?
Ollie, how much advice would you give to Mika? Because his wasn't 100%. How could he have got his higher, do you think?
I think you should have done less races, Mika. If you did just 2 races like me, you would have been fine.
Max, I'm going to start with a sentence, and I'd just quite like you to react to it, if that's okay. Max Verstappen, Formula One world champion.
Simply lovely.
And Mike, you don't mind a direct question, do you? I can put a direct question.
No, not at all. I'm used to your direct question.
Exactly. 2026, Mike. Can Aston Martin win the Formula One world championship?
Yes.
Will Aston Martin?
So making his Sky Sports F1 podcast debut, Christian Hewgill, who hosts not 1, but 2 Formula One podcasts.
The last thing people need is me on another. So I'd like to apologise to the F1 podcast world, because I'm probably the last person they want to hear. So apologies in advance.
Greedy
It's
if you ask
lovely
me.
to be here. It's lovely to be asked.
Get a proper job, Hewgill.
This is a bit further south than Miami. It's the beach area. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see lots of yachts behind me. You'll see a big boat called Island Queen, which is coincidentally my nickname while I'm here, by the way. This podcast is presented by 3 people. You've got comfortably the 3rd most famous of the 3. There's Greg James, there's Betty Glover, who's a sports presenter who's in Australia doing sport, and me.
But you're the best looking.
Well, thank you very much. That's
So,
a compliment
there we
I'll
go.
take all day long. To my left is the Formula 2 paddock, and this has been the talk of the Formula 1 paddock today, because we have a graduation, as has been widely expected. Oliver Bearman, the man who super subbed for Ferrari earlier this year, is moving from that paddock to Formula One.
I will be disappointed by my national side on another occasion. Don't boo. Have you watched the games? We've been useless. Oh no. It's not coming home. It just isn't, is it?
The fact that it's one person singing that.
Yeah. At the British Grand Prix, the football's coming home chant was with one person. There was more people chanting for Yuki Tsunoda during Kings of Leon.
I even went away from Waterloo. You couldn't escape if you want to. So you can also use it to help save
Sorry,
you money.
was that also an ABBA pun? Do you know what? Christian can do this. Christina, let's go.
We'll be back after the next Grand Prix for a debrief. They are turning the lights off now, suggesting in this episode all about careers in Formula One. I might have lost mine. Okay, I mean this is now slightly worrying me. The lights have gone out on the podcast and on my career. Bye bye.